Hello, dear students. I'm sure you all are good. If you are facing issues with scoring well at writing, even though your grammar and vocabulary are good, this video is for you. See, there is a difference between an average writing and an above average writing. One of the factors that makes one's writing appealing and readable is the way various parts of writing are connected. Various parts of a sentence, different parts of a paragraph, and how paragraphs are connected, or in other words, how there is a natural and seamless flow from one part of the writing to another. Seamless means something continuous, without any spaces, interruptions, stops. One should naturally understand everything. To achieve this, we use some linking words and phrases. We shall go through a few of the linking words and phrases with their examples. So today, I'll tell you how can you express your opinion, how to report others' opinions, how can you add emphasis to your sentences, how can you introduce a list and add additional points to it, and finally, how can you add examples to your writing. See, there are many more, but we will focus on a few in each category as we don't need too many for writing an essay. We shall try to understand a few properly. Numbers don't matter, quality does. Let me remind you that we have got a lot more very useful content for your IELTS exam or in case you wish to improve your writing skill. Number one, we have some videos on English grammar. We've tried to explain all the concepts in the simplest possible way. Find the link to the same in our description box. Also, we've got something unique for you to ease your writing preparation. It's an audio video book with around 40 IELTS writing 2 samples presented to you in Hindi so that we may reach the maximum of you. Again, find the link to the same in the description box of this video. Okay, now coming back to our main topic. Our first category is expressing opinion. The case where you express your opinion, you agree or disagree with something. So I mentioned 4 such phrases. As far as I am concerned, from my point of view, I am not convinced that, I don't think that. The first 2 are neutral and are used to offer an opinion, agreement, or disagreement. You can use the next 2 or when you are not convinced with a certain idea or thought. Let's look at some examples how we use these. So how do you give your agreement? As far as I am concerned or from my point of view, both are same. As far as I am concerned, from my point of view, a significant rise in low budget carriers has had a negative impact mainly on our environment. Here I offer my point of view regarding airlines, the low budget ones, and how their rise impacts our environment. See, both mean that you are offering your opinion. When you don't agree with something, you can use the next 2. I am not convinced that social media has a detrimental impact on people and society. I am not convinced means I don't agree. I don't think. This is not my thought. Again, you don't agree that age has a role to play when promoting someone to higher roles in an organization. Of course, you can do this. I am not convinced can be changed to I am convinced to change its meaning, and I don't think can be changed to I think. We are here only trying to teach about some ways which can make your writing better. You can always apply logic and bring more variation to your style. How do you report others' opinions? This is simple. See, when you are about to quote someone else's opinion in your writing, and when you don't know whom to quote or don't wish to name a particular person or a group, you use these options without names. You can use names if you have names. These things are pretty much self explanatory. According to, that means according to somebody, or according to some, or according to some people. We'll look at some examples. It is often said that many, most, some, other, depending upon the context, people say or they argue. In some cases, we use some or many advocate. We can also use some feel, some believe. There are many ways to do it. Let us look at some examples. According to some, a strong, long lasting, and healthy relationship is based chiefly on honesty and truth. According to some, which means some believe. According to some, and comma, and then the remaining opinion of those some. A strong, long lasting, and healthy relationship is based chiefly on honesty and truth. Similarly, I've written some more examples. Many advocate that one should try to convert one's passions into a career. Many advocate means many say this or many support this argument. It is often said that one must convert one's passions into a career. Similarly, some feel that the countryside is better for life than life in cities. Others say that cities are better for many reasons. We can use this method when you are supposed to give two contradictory views. Some argue that social media has many drawbacks. So, this is the way you report someone else's opinions. Now, coming to the next list, it's rather small. Sometimes in our writings, we want to emphasize, or we want to stress on a certain point. In that case, we can use one of these two: in fact, in truth. In fact, comma, in truth, comma, and the remaining sentence. These do not change meaning of a sentence. They just add an emphasis. They just show that we, in this particular case, want to stress on a particular point. In fact, children learn happily when they are left to find solutions on their own. In case I remove this in fact, the meaning of my sentence will not change, but then the tone will change. In fact, adds a certain tone to our writing. In truth, a person may do wonders in work if he can earn a livelihood from his passions. A person can do wonders in truth, right? Again, if I remove in truth, no difference is made to my sentence, yet a certain kind of tone is added, an emphasis is added to my sentence. Now I'll quickly introduce my next list. What if you are supposed to introduce a list, or let us say a set of arguments or some points? Firstly, first of all, first, these are used to introduce the first point in a list. Right, let us look at an example. Firstly, social media can help people connect with their old friends with whom they had lost connection. We can use first instead of firstly. To introduce the next point, we could use in addition, furthermore, moreover. There may be some subtle difference among these, but more or less, for all practical purposes, we use these interchangeably. In addition, furthermore, moreover, comma. Social media helps us spend some leisure time happily. So, this is how you introduce the first point, and for next additional points, we can make use of the remaining ones in our list. Last but not least, what if you want to give examples in your writing? See, use an example when you feel that the example can help the reader understand your writing better. So, we can make use of such as to give examples. For example, for instance, let us look at some examples of how to use these phrases or words to give examples. There can be fun in simple activities such as baking a cake at home. Such as. Such as is used to give examples. Also, it is used to clarify something. But this is how it is used. I read one of the English newspapers, comma, such as the Times of India, comma, every day. Now look at the difference between first and the second sentence, how punctuation has been used. The usual, the normal rules of punctuation apply here. First, in the second case, I'll quickly tell you, such as, the example associated with such as, including such as, has been bound, surrounded by two commas. This is done in cases when the portion which can be removed from a sentence without bringing or making any change to the essence of the sentence. In the second case, if I remove such as the Times of India, my remaining sentence, I read one of the English newspapers every day, will still make sense. Right? Only the example will be removed. However, this is not the case in the first example. Right? This is the usual normal rule of punctuation which is applicable in this case. Remember these things. As far as the other two are concerned, for example and for instance, generally we use comma before and after the phrase. For example, for instance, in a sentence. Let us look at some examples. I read one of the English newspapers, for example, the Times of India. I read one of the English newspapers, for example, the Times of India. Look at the commas. Painting a landscape, for instance, is fun. Painting a landscape is fun, for example. For instance, content, please like, share, and subscribe. Please tell us what more do you want us to share. Bye bye and see you soon.